Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Lazlow, the MST guy, and welcome to the show. Today, we're looking at Mystery Science Theater 3000, KTMA number 21, The Legend of the Dinosaurs. This episode originally aired on KTMA 23 back on May 28th, 1989. This is also the last episode of the KTMA season.
Dinosaurs? Gamera isn't in this episode, is he?
No, he isn't. Actually, we won't be seeing any Gamera episodes for a few more seasons.
Good thing.
Yeah. It's been a while since we talked about the show's history, and since the guys will be making the jump from KTMA 23 to cable in the next episode, it's probably a good time we get caught up. Welcome back to another edition of Learning with Lazlow. By early 1989, Joel and MST producer Jim Mallon were seeing their fanbase growing at an alarming rate. Realizing that MST might have a broader appeal than just the Minneapolis viewing area, the two headed out for New York and started pitching the show. Comedy Central didn't exist in 1989, however Ha and the Comedy Channel were just getting set up when Jim and Joel came knocking. They showed their 9-minute best of tape to the two burgeoning networks. Ha passed on the show, but the Comedy Channel decided to take a chance on them and signed them to a 13-episode deal. Before the ink had time to dry, Jim Mallon and Kevin Murphy quit their jobs at KTMA, and the group founded Best Brains. That's all the time we have for now. In my next episode, we'll finish up our little talk about their leap from UHF to cable. We'll see you next time. Today's episode begins with the Mads plotting a new marketing strategy to convince everyone that Joel is dead.
I'm telling you, Clay, it was brilliant. It sold millions. The Paul is dead hoax is one of the greatest marketing schemes in history.
And the Joel is dead campaign is the perfect way to pump some life into the video marketing arm of Mystery Science Theater.
It'll be the biggest marketing coup since Coke changed the formula.
And what a better way to finish out the KTMA season than with a Sandy Frank film.
Well, you know what I say? Never trust a man with two first names, especially if the first one's a woman's.
The movie starts out seemingly innocent enough with a young lady out in the woods for a walk when she falls down a hole, just like Alice in Alice in Wonderland. She awakens in a cave and finds that it's littered with giant eggs, just like Cain in Alien. Of course the eggs just happen to start hatching while she's walking around them, just like Matthew Broderick in Godzilla.
You're not going to do that through the whole movie, are you?
Why? Frightened from the sound of the cracking eggs, she runs out of the cave, and thankfully, there just happened to be some lumberjacks working right there. What were the odds? Enough with that plot, let's cut over to an airport where we find a group of people waiting for their flight.
Was found in a state of shock by a group of lumberjacks. Mr. Kame was taken to a nearby hospital and kept screaming hysterically about a large stone egg.
Oh, I see. They're talking about the girl that was in the cave on the TV.
Yeah, it's a pretty clever transition, isn't it? The stone egg this newscaster is talking about seems pretty important.
This petrified egg adds another mystery to the many strange phenomena that have been happening.
Ashizawa, our hero, decides that he needs to investigate the stone eggs that the girl saw. Apparently his dad found one years ago.
Ashizawa! Hurry, time to go. You'll be late.
Take this and cancel it.
Eh?
So Ashizawa drops his assignment to go to Mexico, to go to Mount Fuji instead, to find one of these stone eggs.
You should remember that you're a geologist and you're supposed to be practical.
And then we get the title card?
Wait, aren't we like 10 minutes into this thing? Why are we just now getting the title card?
Well, this seems to be a common tactic by Sandy Frank. We saw him do it with the Gamera films. So Ashizawa gets to the base of Mount Fuji and starts to hike, when suddenly...
We aren't going to do that earthquake bit again, are we?
No. The mountain has a small tremor, and our hero gets knocked unconscious. He awakens in a strange cabin that turns out to be his dad's old cabin.
This used to be your father's cabin. But now,
I've taken it over.
I'm using it for a while. But this stone your father found was the real thing, all
Inside the cabin, his dad's friend just happens to have the stone egg that Ashizawa's dad found all those years ago.
Well, the title of the movie is Legend of the Dinosaurs, so I'm betting that's a dinosaur egg.
Meanwhile, in movie B, we're scuba diving with Akiko and her dino bait friend.
From Hiroshima goes walking, and as she passes each...
There's a lot of dead fish in the water. I wonder what happened to them.
Maybe you didn't walk.
Oh, I'm sure this will play into the movie later on. Meanwhile, at Heath Beach, Ashizawa shows up in his Jeep for a little swimming and barbecue.
Hi.
Aw, better luck next time, Ashizawa. I think Ashizawa is going to need a cold shower, which works out well since it's time for a host break.
Okay, you guys, now remember the last sequence, how we made ourselves look...
Turns out this was supposed to be the third host segment, but for some reason they were inserted into the show in the wrong order.
That'll make us look really small. Cambot, let's go. No, no! Oh, no!
Oh, my God!
He's gone! He's got to
Do something! Be careful!
Watch out!
Well, that cast sort of a dim shadow on the evening. Was kind of a special effect, though.
Yeah, only in the way that Bob Hope is special.
We'll be right back.
Ashizawa heads over to the science building and has a deep discussion on resurrecting hibernating toads.
Found a toad one day that had been hibernating for several million years, and he brought it back to life again.
Gave him terrible warts.
Really? Get that thing.
We catch up with Akiko and her dog as she is recording an old woman singing as she is shucking corn.
Was that all right?
Yes.
She leaves the old lady when suddenly a shadowy figure crosses her path. She crashes and her little dog runs off. She chases after him only to discover a dead horse. Thankfully, Ashizawa just happened to be driving by.
What's wrong? What happened?
Ashizawa takes Akiko back to get some rest and returns only to find that the dead horse is now hiding in a tree.
Ew.
A tree horse.
He thinks he knows what killed the horse and has caused some of the other disturbances in the area.
If it was the tail of this plesiosaur, it would leave a mark like this.
Meanwhile, back at the beach, the Dragon Fest is well underway when disaster strikes.
You know, I'm getting a pretty serious Jaws vibe from this movie.
Yeah, I think Jaws had a pretty big influence on this film.
Except that Ashizawa is no Roy Scheider.
As expected, they spot something out in the water.
Hey.
Where?
Out there.
It could be a big fish. It must be a big shark.
It's a big salad fork.
It's a shark.
It was a
Which
fake,
only turns out to be a fake sea monster.
Effects in this movie.
I believed it.
Gee, it's only a fake fish.
It's only a fake.
Our two fakers are rowing towards shore when they get attacked by the real dinosaur.
Boy, the satellite of love is sure a mess. We better get it clean before Joel comes. Oh, servo!
Hi, crew.
Did somebody say my name? Hey, boys. Boy, this place is a mess.
Yeah, and it's dirty, too.
One of the scuba girls is killed by the dinosaur.
Oh, that looked real.
Meanwhile, the locals close the beach and are starting to search the lake for the dinosaur.
But today, this is an area of frenetic activity, as the most advanced monitoring equipment known to science is being set up
Yeah,
here.
delicately
and the leading
handled,
scientists
too.
of the country gather in an effort to solve an ancient mystery of the lake.
Ashizawa and some other scientists hold a meeting to discuss the plausibility that a dinosaur could actually be living in the lake.
He actually drew the plesiosaur. It was great.
Firmly believed
Having dinner
a
with
hibernating dinosaur existed in one of these lakes. And when natural conditions became just right, it would come to life again.
Kind of a weird moment here. Joel flubs his line and everyone just cracks up.
Open the tank. I meant
I just want to see it.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
A real plesiosaur. Just like one animal meeting another animal.
After 20 weeks, Joel Hodgson snapped a twig.
Ashizawa dives into the lake to look for the dinosaur. Meanwhile, the military is planning on dropping depth charges into the lake in an effort to kill the dinosaur.
Depth charges will be dropped into the lake. Stay out of the water.
Hey, I gotta go check on Simon for a minute. Can you handle this one?
Sure thing, Lazlow. With Ashizawa swimming around in the lake and the military dropping their depth charges, we break for another host segment.
Now, you guys, in this next sequence that we're going to see in The Legend of the Dinosaur, there's going to be some full-blown, no-holds-barred...
This was actually supposed to be the first host segment, which would make the other first host segment make more sense.
I built this dinosaur to breathe fire, and I'll show you how it works, okay? We turn them on. Light them up. Whoa!
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 Wow,
Ooh,
dragon
doggy.
mouth. Oh!
He's got the worst breath of the morning.
Some other guys, we'll call them Tasty Treat 1 and Tasty Treat 2, they decide they're going to investigate the cave from the beginning of the movie. Does anybody want to guess on how this is going to turn out?
Huh?
Ashizawa and Akiko just happen to enter the cave that the Tasty Treat twins just died in, and they discover the eggs.
Every woman in this entire movie has the exact same shriek.
Meanwhile, the pterodactyl finally makes his appearance, much to the chagrin of the military.
Who's the dinosaur with the best?
Looks like a Minnesota mosquito.
Our two heroes make it out of the cave when they spot the plesiosaur.
Who is the trailosaur?
They run back into the cave where old Plessy corners them.
You know, a good pre-soak could get that out.
When all hope seems lost, the pterodactyl swoops in and the two dinos start to fight. The next several minutes are spent watching the dino puppets fight when Mount Fuji starts to erupt. And as you would expect, the plesiosaur dies during this earthquake eruption thing.
Whoa, there's a floppy, sloppy dinosaur.
Whoa, landed on the focus puller.
Our hero survives, the movie ends, and Joel and the bots head back to the bridge of the Satellite of Love for the final host segment of the KTMA season.
Let go.
Ouch. Ouch.
Remember, we're going to tell everybody that we're going on hiatus now.
For the summer.
For the summer. What are you going to do for the summer, Crow?
I'm going to space camp.
Space camp, okay. And Servo, what are you going to do?
I'm going to fill my head with cocoa butter and surf till I drop.
Great. I'm going to be working on my Bob Hope impression this summer.
Let's hear it.
Want to hear it? Yeah, I love the kids of today. I love that Swedish hotcake, Elkie Summers. Boy, I don't want to really complain about Exxon, but now I know why they call them tankers.
Exxon's grasping now. All their stations have "Our gas contains no seawater" signs.
Yeah.
Regular, unleaded, or desalinated.
Whoa.
What a year. We went from Ollie North to Oily North.
Whoa. Oh.
Boom. Zing.
Thanks everybody who's been supporting this show. We really appreciate it. All the people in the fan club, and especially our friends here at TV23.
If you like the show, write in and tell the station.
Right. I think that ought to do it. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
So there you have it, Mystery Science Theater 3000, KTMA number 21, The Legend of the Dinosaurs. Another odd Sandy Frank import from Japan. Not the best movie in the world, and as far as monster movies go, the plot was pretty standard. Now, this wouldn't have been my first choice for the last episode of the KTMA season, but I think the guys were planning on coming back to KTMA after the summer break, so we can't really fault them for that. Overall, this is actually a pretty good episode. The riffing is solid, and the host segments, though shown out of order, were pretty good too. Now in my next episode, I'll be looking at Mystery Science Theater 3000, episode 101, The Crawling Eye, the 1958 horror movie about aliens and telepathy. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at lazlow@mstguy@gmail.com or head over to layoffproductions.com and check out some of our other shows. So until next time, I'm Lazlow, the MST guy, and I'm your host for all things Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Finally, Season 1. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. See you, everybody.